So today we're going to show you some of the techniques on how to take a water quality test using the Friends of Casco Bay's water quality kit. The first thing is to establish your site. When you get to a site, a lot of them are from floats like this. You're going to set a thermometer to equilibrate with the air, and when that's set, then you'll start recording your information on the data sheet, and then we'll start with the testing. All of the testing is done with our bucket and with our kit. In the kits you're going to find a variety of pieces of equipment, but these are the typical thermometers we use for doing the air temperature recording. So we will set that aside in the shade, preferably, not in the sun. If you do it in the sun, you're going to get an elevated reading for air temperature just because the sun's beating down on it. So somewhere in the shade is a good spot to set that, and we'll set that in a little bit later. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to start by filling out the data sheet, and on the sheet we have an area for your name and the site name, date, time, some of this ancillary information, the air temperature, which we'll get in a few minutes when the thermometer's done equilibrating with the air temperature, wind direction and wind speed. In your kit we have a pencil with a high-tech piece of yarn on it. The idea is this is going to give you a sense of where the wind is coming from, which is what we want to record on the sheet. We want to record the direction the wind's coming from, not the direction the wind's going to. So typically you can put this up into the wind. Now today, in this particular location where we are, the wind tends to swirl around in a couple different places, but if we can get an idea of a steady wind direction, we can use that. For right now, looks like the wind is coming from this direction over here, and some of your kits have a compass inside, and you can use the compass to determine the wind direction. According to this, it's going to be from the northeast, and an important thing to remember is when you're recording the wind direction and wind speed, you want to note what it is right here at this particular site. Often you'll have a chance to look out beyond and notice that there's white caps and it's blowing pretty good out there. We probably don't want to record that. We want to record what's happening here because we're going to be doing water testing here, and the water here is different than it is out there. So we just want to know what's going on in this particular location. So we'll put down on our data sheet northeast wind, and in the manual we have a list that's called the Beaufort wind scale, which is a visual observations that will give you an idea of what the wind speed is. Right now, since it's variable, it's blowing pretty good. It's a little bit difficult to get an accurate reading, but I'm going to guess that it's about 4 to 6 miles per hour with some gusts to 8. So we'll put down 4 to 6. The next category is to check off weather conditions. We have different weather conditions on here. We have clear, drizzle, snow, downpour, overcast, partly cloudy, or foggy and hazy. Right now it's a clear day, so we'll check off clear. Number of days with similar weather. That's something that you can go back in the newspapers and check. Look at the amount of days that have been similar weather to today. For today, I'm going to say 2 because yesterday and today are similar weather, so we'll check off 2. And then we'll look down here. The next category is the water surface, if it's calm, ripple, waves, or white caps. Now again, we're going to take the data from right here. We're not going to be testing from out there. So this I would consider a ripple surface. It's not particularly calm. It's close to calm, but there is a bit of a breeze today, so we're going to put ripple down. And then there's any indicators here. Fish kills, erosion, abnormal color, dead crabs, foam, birds, oil on surface, bubbles, animals, debris, odors, any other that kind of stuff you can check off. There's also a category to write in things that aren't typical items that you would normally see. Today it's looking pretty clear, pretty good, so I have nothing to check off. So we're going to move on to actually collecting the water sample.